Hello and welcome to day 2 of music class. This is what I have planned for you today. We are going to add to our socially distanced greeting. Yesterday we learned some of the motions. Today we're going to add more motions. Then I'm going to take you through some rhythm echoes, which you know is pretty typical for us. Then we are going to do Jump Jim Joe with some of your suggestions. See if we get a call out. We're going to do our Plainsies Clapsies activity. And if you remember, I said you need a tennis ball or you need something that you can easily throw and catch. A beanbag, a stuffed animal, a beanie stuffed animal, something like that. And then I'm going to teach you your song for next time. And then we are going to start something that's going to go over many weeks. And we're going to learn about the musical composition, Peter and the Wolf. And Peter and the Wolf is, the music tells a story. So today you're going to learn a little bit about the person who composed the music. And you're going to hear the first half of the story. It's kind of important you listen to the story so that later on you see how the music and the story fit together. Okay? All right, get ready. All right, let's review our socially distant ways to say hello. Are you ready? Say hey, say hi. A wave works too. Thumbs up or a wink, air hug, jazz hand, salute. Say hey, say hi, a wave works too. Elbow bump, fist bump, air fist bump. Nope, I did that wrong. Elbow bump, foot bump, air fist bump. Dude, that's the part I always mess up. All right, let's add some new motions. Let's add thumbs up or a wink. So let's start at the beginning. Say hey, say hi, a wave works too. Thumbs up or a wink. All right, now the next part's hard. Ready? Air hug, jazz hands, salute. Try that with me. Air hug, jazz hands, salute. Except it goes fast. Ready? Air hug, jazz hands, salute. Now let's put that with thumbs up. Watch me do this. Thumbs up or a wink. Air hug, jazz hands, salute. Oops. Ready to try that? Here we go. Thumbs up or a wink. Air hug, jazz hands, salute. Now let's do that whole first phrase. Are you ready? Say hey, say hi, a wave works too. Thumbs up or a wink, air hug, jazz hand, salute. Say hey, say hi, a wave works too. Elbow bump, foot bump, air fist bump. Dude. All right. So tomorrow I'm going to add more to it. Are you ready for tomorrow? Hey, if you need more practice with that, you know, you can just roll the tape back, right? Okay. Let's warm up with some rhythm echoes. So you know how this goes. I'll do a rhythm, I'll say it and clap it, and you need to echo it. So if you're echoing it, you are doing both, using your voice and your hands. I'll start off easy and then I'll get a little bit harder. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Ti, 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 ta. Ti, 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 ta, ta. Ta, ta. Ti, ti, ta. Ti, 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 too. Ta, ta, too. All right, so if you're in 4th or 5th grade, the video keeps going because the 3rd graders don't know these notes yet. 4th graders, you will learn them sometime this year. In 5th grade, you learn them in 4th grade. So this is for 4th and 5th grade to do. Here we go. Cinco, ta, ta, ta. Cinco, ta, ti, ti, ta. Cinco, ta, tika, tika, ta. Tika, 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 ta, ta. Tika, 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 ti, ti, ta. Tika, tika, ta. Ta. Now remember, it's important to do our rhythm echoes every time we do them because you may not know it, but they are worming your way into your brain and they are making you a more rhythmic person. Trust me, I know this. All right, guys, stand up. It's time to jump Jim Joe. I was reading through your answers for suggestions for how to do Around We Go. Some of you didn't put anything. That's not okay. It's not that hard to figure that out. So please make sure you complete things in a way that shows integrity. That means you are doing your best work, okay? Not just trying to get it done. Anyway, I'm going to do some shout outs here. We had different versions of circling and spinning. So people who said that were Avery, Hinda, Lucas. Lucas said something like this. I believe that's what Lucas meant. Colin, Carlos, Riley, Noel, Michael G. Morgan said get a parent and spin. So for your first thing, circle can be like moving in a circle or it could be spinning. So whichever way you want to do it, if you want to add something to it, that's fine. Now, Shauna said roll your hips. And Allison said hula. So I'm thinking they're similar. So the second thing we'll do is roll our hips or hula. Gabe and Tyler O and Jaden said to roll their hands in some way. And then Bella said jump. And then Savannah said happy. And I thought happy could be jumping. So we could jump in a circle. Adam said try to do a complete 360, which I can't quite get around and do, but you can try. And Caitlin said to hop. So if hopping is very similar to jumping, so you could do that. Okay, so let's get up and do that, and I'll keep kind of reading to make sure I know what's next. All right, I'm getting out of the picture for a second to turn on the music. Here we go. Jump, 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 Jim Joe. Shake your head, nod your head. First one is a circle or a spin. Around, around, around you go. Then you choose another motion and you jump, Jim Joe. Jump, 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 Jim Joe. Shake your head, and we're rolling our hips or hula-ing. Choose another motion and you jump, Jim Joe. Jump, 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 Jim Joe. Shake your head and nod your head and you're rolling your hands around, around, around we go. Then we choose another motion and we jump, Jim Joe. Jump, 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 Jim Joe. Shake your head and nod your head and tap your toe. And some kind of jump. Then you choose another motion and you jump, Jim Joe. Jump, 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 Jim. Let's do that jump again since I was late. Here we go. Around, around, around we go. Then we choose another motion and we jump, Jim Joe. Thank you for your great suggestions. And remember, for the rest of you, make sure you complete your answers completely. All right, thanks. For the next part of our lesson, you are going to need a ball. A ball is the most challenging thing. And if you don't have a ball, you can get a beanbag or a beanbag stuffed animal, something you can toss and catch. Okay. So let me review. Oh, if you need to do that, put us on pause and then come back to me. All right. Let me review the song I taught you last time. If you don't know the song, the activity is going to be hard to do. It went, Playsies, clapsies, roll my hands to backsie, my right hand, my left hand, as high as the sky, as low as the sea. Touch my knee, touch my heel, touch my toe, and under we go. So, can we keep the beat, please? Ready? Go. Plainsy, clapsy, roll my hands to backsie, my right hand, my left hand, as high as the sky, as low as the sea. Touch my knee, touch my heel, touch my toe, and under we go. See, I was trying to think, what kind of steady beat activity could I do with you that you could do by yourself? Remember, most of our things we do with one another in music class. That would be kind of challenging. So pretend right now you have a ball and you are keeping a beat. And one beat is throwing it up and the next beat's catching it. So it goes, Plainsy, clapsy, roll my hands to backsie, my right hand, my left hand, as high as the sky, as low as the sea. Touch my knee, touch my heel, touch my toe, and under we go. Now get your real object and let's throw and catch it with the beat. So it goes, Plainsy, clapsy, roll my hands to backsie, my right hand, my left hand, as high as the sky, as low as the sea. Touch my knee, touch my heel, touch my toe, and under we go. So if it were that easy, you'd be done, right? But it's not. So we're going to be doing things between each beat. Let me show you what I mean. Plainsy means you just throw the ball and catch it plain, like this. Plainsy. Okay. Clapsy means that you throw a clap in there before you catch it, like this. Clapsy. You try that. Roll your hands means while it's in the air, you roll your hands before catching it. So it's roll. I forgot I have the ceiling there. Let me try again. Roll my hands. You try that. Don't forget your ceiling. Then tabaxi means you're going to touch your back, okay? Tabaxi. All right? Then you're going to catch it and you throw and catch in your right hand. My right hand. You try that. Then you're going to do it in your left hand. My left hand. It'll be harder in whichever hand you do not write with. Now, be careful. The next one is high as the sky. This is much better done outside. Ready? As high as the sky. Then as low as the sea. As low as the sea. Go ahead and try that. Then you have to quick touch your knee before you catch it. So it's touch my knee. Then it's touch my heel. Then it's touch my toe. Why don't you try all of those? Touch my knee, touch my heel, touch my toe. And under we go looks like this. And under we go. You try that. So I'm going to do it very slowly with you. Are you ready? So it goes, Plainsy, clapsy, roll my hands to backsie, my right hand, my left hand, as high as the sky, as low as the sea. Touch my knee, touch my heel, touch my toe, and under we go. So, if that's where you want to end it, that's fine. But I will tell you, there are challenges to go with this. So, what we just did was the Plainsy version of it. So after Plainsy comes Clapsy. So in the Clapsy version of it, you would add a clap everywhere. So when you first sing Plainsy, you'd actually add a clap. So it'd be Plainsy. When it's Clapsy, you'd add 2 claps. Clapsy. When it's roll your hands, you clap and roll your hands. Roll your hands. And the same thing with Tabaxi. Tabaxi. Your right hand, my right hand. Your left hand, my left hand. As high as the sky, you add a clap. And then as low as the sea. Then touching your knee, you add a clap. Then touch your heel. Then touch your toe. Then under you go. So after you get done the Clapsy version, you have Plainsy, Clapsy, roll your hand. So to every motion, instead of adding a clap, you add a roll your hand. So Plainsy, you roll your hand. Clapsy, you roll your hand and clap. Roll your hand, you just roll your hand. Tabaxi, roll your hand and touch your back. And so on. Then you continue on. Plainsy, Clapsy, roll your hand. The next one you add a back to everyone. The next one you do all with your right hand. After that you do the whole thing in your left hand only. After that you do the whole thing but throwing the ball up high. After that you do the whole thing by keeping the ball down low. After that you do the whole thing but add a knee tap. After that you do the whole thing but add a heel tap. After that you do the whole thing but add a toe tap. And after that you do the whole thing but also going under your knee. Have fun. Hey, and I love to receive videotapes. So if you get good at any part of this and you want to videotape it and send it to me, please do. I would love that. So I'm going to teach you your song for next time, and I'm going to use the ukulele. And I'm really bad at the ukulele. And the song uses 3 chords. One is kind of easy. I need 2 fingers and 2 like that. And one is really easy, and I just put a finger here. But my last one's hard because I got to kind of smush my one finger across 2 strings, then put this finger on a different string and this finger on yet a different string, and I just don't feel it quite yet. So when I get to that part of the song, I might mess up because I'm just learning, but I think it's really good for you to see that learning an instrument can be hard and can take work. So I'm sharing with you that I'm just learning. Anyway, the song is called the Rock Island Line, and it's actually about an old railroad line, okay? And it says, I say the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. I say the Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Okay, so it goes, I say the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. I say the Rock Island Line is the road to ride. I say the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. If you want to ride it, got to ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Yeah, not real great, but I'll get better at it. Be my echo. The first phrase says, I say the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Your turn. I say the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Then it goes, I say the Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Your turn. I say the Rock Island Line is the road to ride. My turn. I'm starting to lose my voice. The third phrase is the same as the first phrase. I say the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Your turn. I say the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Then it goes, if you want to ride it, got to ride it like you find it. Try that. If you want to ride it, got to ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island line. So that last phrase is longer than the other ones, and it really goes like this. Let me do it for you. If you want to ride it, got to ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island line. Try it. Here we go. If you want to ride it, got to ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island line. All right, so you turn your voices off and do it in your head, and I'll sing it by myself. I say the Rock Island line is a mighty good ride. I say the Rock Island line is the road to ride. I say the Rock Island line is a mighty good ride. If you want to ride it, got to ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island line. All right, turn your voices on and sing along with me this time. Here we go. I say the Rock Island line is a mighty good road. I say the Rock Island line is the road to ride. I say the Rock Island line is a mighty good road. If you want to ride it, got to ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island line. I ran out of breath at the end. I hope you did better. All right, we'll work with this song tomorrow.
Sergei Prokofiev was a famous composer. He was born in 1891 and passed away in 1953. Do you have any idea how old he would be if he were still alive today? If you are saying somewhere close to 130 years old, you are correct. I would like to tell you his story. Russian composer and pianist Sergei Prokofiev was born in 1891 in a small village in Ukraine. Early on, it was clear that he had musical talent. His mother, who was a very good pianist, encouraged him and taught him to play the piano. A pianist must be a person who plays the piano. Sergei began composing music at the age of 5. When he got a bit older, he and his mother moved to St. Petersburg so that he could study music there. After Prokofiev graduated from school, he traveled around Europe to learn more about music. World War I and the Russian Revolution made living and working in Russia very difficult, so Prokofiev left the country in 1918. Paris, France eventually became his home, but he also spent time in the United States. But the whole time he was away from Russia, Prokofiev longed to go home, and in 1936 he moved back home. Prokofiev was a master at using music to tell a story. One of his most famous musical stories is Peter and the Wolf, which was written for Russia's Central Children's Theater. Over the next several days, we will be learning how Prokofiev took the story of Peter and the Wolf and put it to music. First, you'll be hearing the story with no music. Then we'll be learning how Prokofiev used music to create the story. And finally, we will see the whole story once again, but this time with music added. I'm so excited. Once upon a time, there was a boy called Peter who lived with his grandfather in a little house beside a green meadow. Grandfather knew all kinds of dangers in the forest nearby, and he tried to keep Peter safe. One day he said, "You must never leave the garden or go into the meadow alone, Peter. The hungry wolf might come out of the forest and eat you up." Peter did not answer. He loved animals and birds, and he was sorry that the wolf was hungry, but he wasn't at all afraid of it. Early one morning, Peter opened the garden gate and went into the meadow. The wolf was not there. High up in a tree sat a small bird. When Peter was near the tree, the bird said, "Hello, Peter! What are you doing here all alone?" "Oh," Peter said, looking up, "you made me jump. I'm out for a walk. Have you seen the wolf today?" "No," said the bird. "I haven't seen him and I don't want to see him." "That wolf's always hungry. He eats anything." He looked over Peter's shoulder. "There's a fine fat duck," he said. "I'm sure the wolf would eat her. You better warn her about him." Peter turned round to see a duck waddling up to him. She had followed him through the garden gate because she wanted to swim in the pond in the meadow. "Hello, Peter," she said. "It's a fine day for a swim. I'm glad you left the garden gate open." "Oh dear," said Peter. "I hope Grandfather doesn't see it. He told me to stay in the garden." Peter said goodbye and went on by himself. The small bird flew down to the pond. "Hello, duck," he said. "Why do you walk to the pond? It can't be easy to walk on such flat webbed feet. Why don't you fly like me? What kind of bird are you if you can't fly?" The duck looked at him. "Fly?" she said. "Fly? Who wants to fly? I can fly if I want to, but I don't. I want to swim. And don't be rude about my feet, because webbed feet are made for swimming." She turned back and dived into the pond. "Come on in," she called. "The water's lovely." The small bird jumped back quickly from the edge of the pond. "Who, me?" he twittered. "Swim? You must be joking. I don't swim." He fluttered his feathers nervously. "Ha ha," said the duck. "You mean you can't swim? What kind of a bird are you, then?" The small bird hopped up and down in rage. The duck swam round and round the pool, and the argument went on. They were so busy arguing that they did not hear Peter come back. He stood near the pond in the long grass and watched them. They were funny. Suddenly, Peter saw a large, hungry cat crawling through the grass towards the small bird. The cat said to herself, "That bird, it's too busy shouting at the duck to notice me. I'll have him for my dinner." She came closer, crouching low in the grass. Just as she was ready to jump, Peter shouted, "The cat! The cat! Oh, look out, bird!" The cat sprang forward, stretching her claws to catch the bird, but he flew straight up into a tree. Peter looked at the small bird. "You're lucky," he said. "That cat almost had you for dinner." "Thanks, Peter," said the bird. Then Peter spoke to the cat. She was very angry, and she lashed her tail from side to side. "Cat," said Peter, "you should be ashamed of yourself. Go away and don't chase the bird again. Go into the garden and I will give you some food when I get home." The cat did not reply. She stalked away in a huff, her tail held high. When she reached the long grass, she sat down and began to wash herself. "See if I care," she thought. "Next time I'll get that bird." Not far away, Peter laughed, the bird sang, and the duck quacked. They made a lot of noise because they were so happy. After a while, Grandfather came out into the garden and saw that the gate was open. Grandfather was worried because he knew that Peter might be in danger. Then he heard the happy noises in the meadow, and he looked over the garden wall. He saw Peter, the duck, and the small bird, and he was very angry. "Peter," he called, "Come here at once." Then he went out into the field to fetch Peter. Peter heard his grandfather shouting. He stopped laughing and ran toward him. "Come with me," Grandfather ordered, and marched Peter back into the garden. He locked the gate behind them. Grandfather said to Peter, "How many times have I told you not to leave the garden? Do you want the hungry wolf to eat you for his dinner?" Peter said nothing. "Well," said Grandfather, "did you hear what I said?" "Yes," muttered Peter. He was sorry, but he thought that Grandfather was making too much fuss. Grandfather left Peter and took the gate key with him. He did not trust Peter to stay in the garden. Peter was bored and unhappy in the garden. The small bird tried to help. He flew to a tree and sang to Peter, but Peter still didn't cheer up. Meanwhile, the hungry wolf did come out of the forest. Thank you for participating in my lesson today. Remember, when the video ends, go back to Google Classroom, mark the assignment as turned in, and answer your questions for the day. See you next music class.